Welcome to our video where we explore the life and significance of one of the most influential figures in modern history, Henry Ford. In this brief overview, we'll introduce you to the man behind the legacy, highlighting why he remains a prominent figure to this day. Henry Ford, born on July 30th, 1863, was an American industrialist, inventor, and entrepreneur. He is best known for founding the Ford Motor Company and revolutionizing the automobile industry with his innovative methods and affordable vehicles. Ford's vision of making the automobile accessible to the masses led to the development of the Model T, a groundbreaking vehicle that transformed transportation and became a symbol of the emerging American middle class. But Ford's contributions went beyond the creation of a successful automobile. His implementation of the assembly line production method revolutionized manufacturing processes, making products faster, more affordable, and accessible to a wider audience. Ford's innovative approach to labor practices, such as the introduction of the $5 a day wage, had a profound impact on workers' lives and influenced industry standards. The lasting significance of Henry Ford lies in his ability to combine innovation, efficiency, and affordability, forever changing the face of industry and consumer culture. Henry Ford's impact extends far beyond the realm of automobiles. His legacy is one of resilience, innovation, and social change. His contributions to manufacturing, labor practices, and the rise of the middle class have left an indelible mark on American history. Join us as we dive deeper into the life of Henry Ford, exploring his personal journey, his successes, his challenges, and the enduring legacy that continues to shape the world we live in. Born on July 30th, 1863, in a bustling farm in Greenfield Township, Michigan, Henry Ford's story began amidst the bustle of the American Industrial Revolution. He was the eldest of 6 children to William and Mary Ford, hard-working farmers who made their living from the rich soils of Michigan. Young Henry's world revolved around the daily routines of a typical 19th-century farm. His days were spent immersed in chores, tilling the land, and caring for livestock. But even at this young age, Henry was different. His inquisitive mind was more interested in the machines that made farming easier than the farming itself. When Henry was just 12, a gift from his father, a pocket watch, set the wheels of destiny in motion. Young Ford was fascinated, not with the time it told, but with the intricate mechanism that made it tick. He dismantled and reassembled it, marking the start of his lifelong fascination with machines. Growing up in Greenfield Township, Ford's early years were shaped by the local landscapes, rural simplicity, and the ingenuity of farmers who constantly had to invent and adapt to make ends meet. But more than anything, these years were dominated by Henry's growing passion for machines and mechanics. But like many great innovators, school was not where Ford wanted to be. He yearned for the workshops, the factories, and the humming machinery of Detroit City. So, at the tender age of 16, Ford left his home behind to chase his dreams. A journey of resilience had begun. Henry Ford's intrigue towards machinery was evident from a very young age. While most children of his age spent their time playing and learning basic school subjects, Henry found his true calling amidst gears, engines, and wheels. He spent countless hours studying how things worked, dismantling and reassembling any piece of machinery he could lay his hands on. His fascination with machinery was a stark contrast to his interest in formal education. School didn't captivate him. He found the lessons unstimulating and the classrooms confining. Henry yearned for something more, something real and tangible that he could work on with his hands, something like machines. Aged just 16, with an audacious spirit and a mind filled with dreams, Henry took the bold decision to leave his home and family. He ventured towards the city of Detroit, known for its burgeoning industries and the promise of opportunity. His goal? To immerse himself in the world of machinery and engineering. This decision was a pivotal moment, marking the start of his relentless journey towards the legacy that we remember today. There, standing at the brink of a vast, bustling city, was a 16-year-old country boy with a dream. Detroit, a city alive with the hum of machinery, the clang of metal, and the promise of a future filled with possibilities. But Detroit was also a city of challenges, and for a young boy alone, those challenges could seem insurmountable. Henry took on odd jobs and eventually landed an apprenticeship in a machine shop. The work was hard, the hours long and grueling. For many, this could have been a breaking point, a harsh reality check that shattered dreams and forced a return to a simpler life. But not for Henry. And so, Henry Ford, a mere teenager, found his footing in the heart of Detroit. His journey was just beginning, but his resilience, that was already shining through, promising of the extraordinary path that lay ahead. After 3 years, Ford moved on to work as a machinist at the Detroit Dry Dock Company, known for building steamships. Here, he gained a deeper understanding of complex machinery and large engines, a knowledge that would later prove invaluable. However, in 1882, circumstances pulled Henry back to his family farm due to his father's failing health. Here, he honed his skills, applying his knowledge of machinery to make farm work less arduous. His innovative spirit was never at rest. During this time, Henry also found love. In 1888, he married Clara Alla Bryant, who would stand by his side, providing emotional and moral support throughout their life. Clara's faith in Henry's vision was unwavering, and their union marked an important milestone in Ford's personal life. In 1891, while still on the farm, Ford took on another role that linked him back to his passion: machinery. He started working as an engineer for the Westinghouse Electric and Manufacturing Company. At Westinghouse, Ford was responsible for servicing their steam engines. Traveling around the countryside, his job was to keep these machines running smoothly, a task that allowed him to indulge in his love for mechanics and machinery while remaining at his family's farm. In 1891, a significant opportunity knocked on Ford's door. He was hired by the Edison Illuminating Company in Detroit as a steam engineer. This meant moving back to the city, a decision that marked a major turning point in Ford's career. The Edison Company, Ford's work ethic, sharp intellect, and deep understanding of engines did not go unnoticed. He quickly climbed the ladder, and by 1893 he was promoted to chief engineer. This job offered Ford a steady income and the time to experiment with his personal projects. Most importantly, it paved the way for him to cross paths with one of the greatest inventors of the time, Thomas Edison, a meeting that would have profound implications for Ford's future. While working at the Edison Illuminating Company, Ford spent his spare time working on a personal project: the creation of a horseless carriage, or as we know it today, a car. His first prototype, the Ford quadricycle, was completed in 1896, and it was a clear signal that Ford's future lay not in electrical engineering, but in automotive innovation. Fueled by his success with the quadricycle and his vision of mass-produced automobiles, Ford established his first automotive company in 1901, named Henry Ford Company. This marked his first major foray into the automobile industry, a dream he'd nurtured since his early days as a machinist. However, the journey was far from smooth. Differences arose between Ford and his investors over the company's direction. Ford envisioned affordable vehicles for the masses, while his investors sought immediate profits through the production of expensive, high-end cars. The discord led to Ford leaving his own company in 1902. The company was subsequently restructured and renamed Cadillac Automobile Company. For some, this could have been the end of the road, the dream shattered. But Henry Ford, ever resilient, viewed this not as a failure but as an opportunity for a fresh start, a chance to truly realize his vision. He learned valuable lessons about business, manufacturing, and the importance of retaining creative control. With these lessons in his pocket, Ford was ready to embark on his next venture. Ford held fast to his passion for automobiles. The failure of his first business did not dissuade him, rather, it fueled him further. He saw beyond the immediate setback, keeping his eyes firmly on the potential that automobiles held. Ford once said, "Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently." And that's exactly what he did. He learned from his experience at the Henry Ford Company, refined his vision, and used the lessons learned to shape his next steps. Just a year after leaving the Henry Ford Company, Ford's unwavering resilience and persistent vision bore fruit. In 1903, along with a group of investors, including the famed Dodge brothers, Ford established a new venture, the Ford Motor Company. With the lessons of his past experiences firmly in his mind, Ford was committed to retain control over his company's direction. He was clear on his vision to create reliable and affordable automobiles for the common man. This was a vision that challenged the norm, as most automakers of the time focused on creating luxury vehicles for the affluent. Operating from a converted factory in Detroit, Ford Motor Company began its operations. The company was not an immediate success, and it struggled initially with cash flow and a few unsuccessful models. Yet Ford, always resilient, did not give up. He knew he was on the brink of something revolutionary. His determination, hard work, and unyielding belief in his vision eventually paid off. In 1908, the Ford Motor Company introduced the Model T, an automobile that would change the world and firmly establish Henry Ford's legacy. Ford's strategy for his company was clear. He wanted to democratize the automobile. He envisioned a car that was reliable, efficient, and most importantly, affordable for the average American. To achieve this, Ford knew he had to revolutionize not just the product, but the entire process of its creation. He focused on optimization, understanding that every minute and every penny saved in manufacturing translated into a more affordable car. In 1903, the Ford Motor Company introduced its first car, the Model A. The car, though simple in design, was reliable and relatively affordable. It was an initial step towards Ford's dream of mass production. The Model A was well received. It offered people a taste of what Ford had envisioned, the freedom and autonomy that owning a car could provide. But this was just the beginning. Ford knew he could push the boundaries further, make his vehicles even more accessible. The creation of the Model A marked the beginning of Ford's journey in changing the landscape of the automotive industry. It set the stage for what was to come, a car that would truly embody Ford's vision and revolutionize the world. The path to Ford's vision was anything but easy. From the inception of the Ford Motor Company, he faced numerous challenges. Financial struggles were at the forefront, with the company's cash flow often stretched thin as Ford pursued his ambitious goals. Many of the investors were skeptical. They were used to the conventional business model of selling expensive cars to the wealthy few. Ford's plan of selling affordable cars to the masses seemed risky and unproven. Despite this skepticism, Ford remained steadfast. He believed in his vision, and he knew that the only way to make it a reality was to stay the course, regardless of the doubts and fears of others. He had faith that his unique approach would not only be successful, but revolutionary. Ford was willing to stake his future on his belief. He did not shy away from risk, investing his own money into the company when needed. He even mortgaged his own home to provide the necessary funds to keep the company afloat. In 1908, the Ford Motor Company launched the vehicle that would forever change the face of the automobile industry, the Model T. Designed to be simple, durable, versatile, and above all, affordable, the Model T was the true embodiment of Ford's vision. Ford introduced revolutionary production methods to build the Model T. He implemented the assembly line, drastically cutting production time and cost, which in turn reduced the price of the car. It was a game changer, an innovation that transformed not just the auto industry, but all of manufacturing. The Model T, often affectionately referred to as the Tin Lizzie, was built to be sturdy and reliable, capable of navigating the often rough and undeveloped roads of the time. It was a car truly designed for the masses. The impact of the Model T was profound. By making cars affordable, Ford put America on wheels. The automobile, once a luxury item for the wealthy, became accessible to average Americans, forever changing the way people lived, worked, and traveled. The Model T was an enormous success. At one point, half of all cars in the world were Model Ts. This car, the fruit of Ford's vision and resilience, truly reshaped the world. Through the Model T, Ford's dream had become a reality. His resilience in the face of adversity had paid off, affirming that sometimes the road less traveled, the path filled with risk and challenge, can indeed make all the difference. Ford's innovative spirit didn't stop at the creation of the Model T. Understanding the need to produce these cars quickly and affordably, Ford turned his attention to revolutionizing the production process. Ford and his team introduced the moving assembly line to automobile manufacturing, a concept that was truly revolutionary. Previously, cars were built from start to finish by a team of workers standing in one spot, a time-consuming and expensive process. Ford's assembly line was different. It broke the car's assembly into 84 discrete steps, each performed by a different worker. As the car moved down the line, each worker added a specific part. This method drastically increased efficiency and reduced waste. The impact of this innovation was immediate and impressive. The time it took to build a Model T was reduced from over 12 hours to just 2.5 hours. This efficiency allowed Ford to lower the price of the Model T, making it even more accessible to the average consumer. Henry Ford once said, "If everyone is moving forward together, then success takes care of itself." Despite the tremendous success of the Model T and the revolutionary assembly line, Ford's journey was not without its trials. He faced numerous challenges that tested his resolve and resilience. There was pushback from workers who initially found the assembly line method monotonous. Strike threats were not uncommon as labor unions demanded better wages and working conditions. In addition, Ford found himself embroiled in a pivotal patent lawsuit. The Association of Licensed Automobile Manufacturers claimed that Ford infringed on their patent, which they argued covered virtually all gasoline-powered automobiles. In response to workers' dissatisfaction, Ford introduced the $5 a day wage, an unheard-of rate at the time, that improved living conditions for his employees and reduced turnover rates. In the landmark patent case, Ford fought a lengthy legal battle that eventually resulted in the breaking of the monopolistic hold by the Association of Licensed Automobile Manufacturers. Once again, Ford's resilience shone through. His ability to face adversity, stand firm in his convictions, and turn challenges into opportunities solidified his place as a trailblazer in the automobile industry and beyond. In 1922, expanding the Ford Motor Company's reach, Henry Ford acquired the struggling Lincoln Motor Company. His ambition was to create a luxury vehicle line that combined the efficiency of Ford's production methods with upscale design and comfort. Henry's son, Edsel Ford, played a significant role in the development of the Lincoln brand. He ensured that Lincoln cars incorporated the latest design trends, making them some of the most luxurious and coveted vehicles of the time. Lincoln vehicles soon gained a reputation for their elegance, power, and comfort. The acquisition of Lincoln Motor Company showed Ford's capability to appeal not just to the masses, but also to the high-end market. In 1927, the Ford Motor Company introduced another groundbreaking vehicle, the Model A. The Model A was not a simple reiteration of the Model T. It was a completely redesigned vehicle boasting more power, features, and a variety of styles and colors. Henry Ford's ability to adapt to changing market demands while maintaining his core vision of accessible, reliable automobiles is yet another testament to his resilience and his enduring influence in the automobile industry. Henry Ford's journey took a significant turn with the advent of World War II. Although initially resistant to America's involvement, Ford played a pivotal role in the war effort when the nation needed him. As the U.S. prepared to enter the war, the government turned to industrialists like Ford to convert their factories for war production. This was a monumental task, demanding not just immense resources, but also the ability to adapt swiftly to the country's needs. In response, Ford built the Willow Run plant, a factory specifically designed to produce bomber planes. Initially, the plant faced a number of production issues, prompting criticism and doubts. But demonstrating his resilience, Ford rose to the challenge. By 1944, the Willow Run plant was producing one B-24 bomber every hour, a feat that was simply astounding. It became a symbol of America's industrial might and a significant contributor to the Allied victory. Ford's contribution to the war effort is yet another testament to his resilience and adaptability. His ability to quickly convert and optimize his factories for war production underlines his unwavering commitment to his country and his enduring legacy as an industrial leader. Henry Ford passed away on April 7, 1947, leaving behind an enduring legacy that has fundamentally shaped the world we live in today. Despite the numerous obstacles, controversies, and criticisms he faced, Ford never lost sight of his vision. His tenacity, adaptability, and indomitable spirit continue to inspire us to push boundaries, confront our challenges, and shape the world in our own way. This is the essence of Ford's enduring legacy. His journey reminds us that adversity can indeed foster great innovation and progress. Ford's own words best encapsulate this sentiment. When everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. As we come to the end of our journey through Henry Ford's life, we hope that his story of resilience, determination, and innovation has resonated with you. Remember the trials Ford faced and how he pushed through them, turning obstacles into opportunities. How he pursued his passion for automobiles despite the failures of his initial ventures. How he revolutionized manufacturing with the assembly line and democratized mobility with the Model T. How he weathered criticism and controversy, learning and adapting along the way. And importantly, how his spirit lives on today in the legacy of the Ford Motor Company, standing testament to the enduring impact of resilience and determination. We encourage each of you to reflect on Ford's resilience in your own lives. Whether you're facing challenges in your career, pursuing a new venture, or navigating personal trials, remember that resilience can be your driving force. That brings us to the end of our journey through the remarkable life of Henry Ford. If you've enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up to let us know. Your support helps us to continue creating content like this. We'd also love to hear from you in the comments below. What did you find most inspiring about Henry Ford's story? How do you apply resilience in your own life? Your insights can inspire and motivate others in our community. And of course, don't forget to share this video with friends, family, or anyone you think could use a dose of inspiration. As the saying goes, sharing is caring. Once again, thank you for joining us on this journey. But before we wrap up, here's a sneak peek at our next journey through time. Our next video will delve into the extraordinary life of one of history's most resilient figures, Nelson Mandela. Through a life filled with challenges and adversity, Nelson Mandela's unwavering resilience became the driving force behind his pursuit of justice and equality. From his early years fighting against apartheid to his decades-long imprisonment, Mandela's resilience only grew stronger, becoming a beacon of hope for millions and leading a nation towards unity and reconciliation. Thank you for watching, and we can't wait to take this incredible ride with you. Until then, remember to stay resilient and keep driving forward.